Alrighty guys, Spencer Rifkin here.
Dakota Fenn.
We're going to be doing a little bit of some live commentating, talking about the two different J Concepts front tires for the 4-wheel drive and 2-wheel drive. Pinswags is our latest and greatest 2-wheel drive front tire, our Fuzz Bite 2-wheel drive fronts. And
I got the same thing here for the 4-wheel drive tires. As you can see, the Fuzz Bite is a lot narrower of a tire, and that's also a little bit bigger in diameter. And then Pinswag is a little bit wider of a tread pattern, and then it's a little bit smaller in diameter. So we're going to talk about what we did here. I ran both of these in the 4-wheel drive, and then we're going to go do some running.
Yeah, we basically just kind of wrapped up the weekend. Dakota had a stellar weekend getting the 2 TQs and the 2 wins. Him and I had some good battles in 4-wheel drive and 2-wheel drive. Obviously, Aiden was pretty fast all weekend. We're going to go in the driver's stand. We're going to do some live commentating. Dakota's going to be obviously running the 4-wheel drive Pinswags and Fuzz Bite fronts. I'm going to be doing the 2-wheel drive Pinswags and Fuzz Bite fronts. We're going to have the mic on. We're going to be talking while we're driving. It's going to be pretty interesting because this layout was super tough,
yeah,
right?
It's going to be tough. There's a lot of technical sections here, so we're going to see how we do.
Yeah, so yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy and see what happens.
We're going to start with the Pinswag fronts here, which is the tire that I ran all this weekend once I went through practice and gave it a try. And then we're going to go back, change the tires, and check the ride height. Like I said before, these are a little bit different diameter and different widths, so we're going to check the ride height, which should be a little bit different. All right. We're going to go ahead and get started here, guys. We're going to see how this is. I think it's going to be a little challenging to talk and drive out here, but so I started with Fuzz Bites here at the beginning of the weekend and then switched to the Pinswags in practice. And this is what I ran for the whole weekend. As you can see, they're very smooth. I'm able to go where I want with the lines. And they're not edgy, not tippy, nothing like that. They have good rotation in the 180s. And like I said, they're very smooth, high speed in the sweeper, coming onto the straight and then through the S section as well. All right, guys, so that's a few laps here with the Pinswags. We're gonna go back, change the Fuzz Bites, check the ride height, and then head back out here and I can tell you guys what I feel the difference is on this track at RC1. All right, guys, we're back here in the pits. We're gonna change from the Pinswag fronts to the Fuzz Bites. Like I mentioned earlier, these tires are quite a bit different width and diameter wise. The Fuzz Bite is a little bit taller, so we're going to make sure that we check the ride here after we get these things on here. As you guys can see also, I also have a little bit different of a glue job on the sidewall here. For the Pinswags, I'm just doing all the way up to the edge there of the tread and not going onto the tread at all. I messed with that a little bit, and with these tires going up onto the tread, it made it a little bit less aggressive and a little bit pushy for me. And then here with the Fuzz Bites, I've done a lot of testing with this, and I normally glue all the way up on the sidewall and then actually get the first little check mark tread on there as well. As you can see, guys, a little bit high here, so we'll go ahead and lower that. A little bit more. There we go. There we go. We're good to go. So it's about a turn and a half, I would say, different ride height rise. We'll go ahead and give these a couple laps here. I haven't driven this set of tires on the track yet. Whoa. So first initial impressions, is the Fuzz bites here are actually a little bit pushier. They have pretty good high-speed steering, but a little bit less in the tight 180 corners here. So that'll be something to keep in mind here, guys, depending on the track style. If you're at a tighter track, the pin swag might be a good option. And then if you're at a higher speed track here, the Fuzz bites might be a great option for the front. We'll go ahead and do one more lap here. They carry really good corner speed there at the end of the straight and through all the high speed sections. And like I said, low speed, just a little bit less steering. So there we have it, that's my opinion. I think the Fuzz bites would be a great option for a little bit more of a high speed track. Obviously you can adjust the glue job a little bit, maybe take a little bit less and not glue quite high as up on the tread. But both great options and just have a little bit different driving style.
All right, so I'm gonna basically throw down with the pin swag fronts, which is basically what we ran the entire weekend here. We're gonna do about 5 laps, do a little bit of live commentating, what my thoughts are, turn in, kind of figure out the key pieces of off-center feeling, high-speed turning and stuff like that. We're gonna come down, change the front tires to the Fuzz bites, go set ride height because they are marginally different size, and we'll see what happens. So basically what I like doing when I first throw my car down is kind of get the front tires working here. Kind of feel the initial turn in. You don't have to go all out at the start here. So as you can see when I'm turning in, kind of have a pretty smooth. You don't see the car shimming when I have an initial turn in. It doesn't seem wandery when I'm going up the face of the jumps or some edginess, so to speak. The other thing I like to really pick out is when you're going up the face of the jumps, if you actually are having problems figuring out if you're gonna fly off the track or jump on downside the jumps. So you can see like the smoothness that these kind of provide on this particular surface. They're pretty good low speed. They have good high speed steering. It changes directions pretty quick. And yeah, I think this is a pretty smooth tire. We're gonna go change the fronts to the Fuzz bites and see what happens. We're changing the front tires here. I just think it's very good practice to recheck ride height, especially when things are so critical on carpet. The tire diameters for the two-wheel drive front pin swags and Fuzz bites are actually very similar in size. They're very similar to the same profile, but I still think it's important to make sure that you are double checking to make sure it never hurts. For the Fuzz bite fronts, I'm going to be running them in the same direction that I'm running the rears, which I call it Pac-Man eats backwards. So the U style is facing towards the rear of the car. I think that's kind of what I prefer. I believe Dakota is also running them the same direction. Also, you can see that I have my front sidewalls glued, which is pretty normal. It just helps when landing under transitions, and when you turn and land a jump, it doesn't flip instantly. It just adds a little bit of forgiveness to drive. So let's go drive this bad boy and see what happens. Alrighty, so Fuzz bite front run here. Gonna be doing like the same thing as last time, just getting them a little fill out run. So initially when I first turn in, I can actually feel that they have really good turn in. And a little bit more on-power steering than the pin swags. They still go pretty smooth up the face of the jumps. It doesn't feel wandery, like I was saying before. I think driving between the two front tires is really personal preference here. I'm actually a little bit more shocked on the result that we saw at Dakota in 4-wheel drive with the fronts and the differences between these and 2-wheel drive, because I do feel like they have good turn in compared to the pin swags. It's a nice crisp feel. They're very close. I would say high speed, they have a little bit less than the pin swag, so you can see in like that center sweeper. And yeah, these are pretty good. Yeah, a little bit less high speed, but good initial steering. Really smooth to drive. And very forgiving. So that basically does it for the Fuzz bite running. One of the things that I think what's important for people that are watching is to understand that the different carpets that are available to run on, there's office carpet, there's black carpet, which is what we're running this weekend. It also depends on how new or fresh or old the carpet is. So overall, my initial kind of consent between the two pin swag and Fuzz bites is, I would say the pin swags have a little bit more high-speed steering. They are smooth in the low-speed steerings, maybe actually cut a little bit harder. The Fuzz bites have a little bit lack of high-speed steering, but very good and quick transitions between the pin swags. Again, this is all personal preference, and that's kind of to give you guys an option of what you guys like. And give it a whirl when you're at the track next. So thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, we really appreciate you guys following the J Concepts race page. Obviously, it was pretty cool to have Dakota in the video this time, and hopefully you guys enjoy the video.